8 weeks, diet, sleep, exercise, and stress management. No drugs, no injections. Result, men between 50 and 72 years old measured 3.23 years younger biologically than the control group that changed. Nothing. That's not a headline. That's a randomized controlled trial published in a peer-reviewed journal, and today I'm going to show you exactly what they did and what it actually means for you. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 experiments, 3 separate studies, 3 different approaches, all asking the same question. Can we actually slow or reverse how fast the body ages? By the end, you'll know what the science actually supports, what it doesn't, and the 4 specific things the evidence keeps pointing back to. Let's start with Experiment 1. Researchers at a clinical research institute recruited 43 healthy men between the ages of 50 and 72. They split them into 2 groups, the control group, no intervention, the treatment group, an 8-week program, no drugs, no supplements with exaggerated claims, 4 things only. 1. A specific diet, high in vegetables, particularly dark leafy greens and cruciferous liver and eggs for methyl donor nutrients, moderate protein, minimal processed food. 2. Exercise, at least 30 minutes of aerobic activity, 5 days a week, the exact Zone 2 intensity we covered Tuesday. 3. Sleep consistent bedtime, 7 to 8 hours, the same protocol from week 1, Thursday. 4. Stress management, twice daily breathing exercises, guided relaxation, nothing that costs money. After 8 weeks, they measured biological age using the Horvath DNAmAge clock, one of the most validated epigenetic clocks in research. The treatment group averaged 3.23 years younger, biologically, than the control group, and within the treatment group alone, participants were on average 2.04 years younger than they were at the start. Their triglycerides dropped 25%. Their folate levels rose 15%, all in 8 weeks, with no drugs. Now, I need to be honest about the limits of that study. 43 men, all male, pilot trial. The researchers themselves said larger trials are needed. So let's look at a much bigger one. 777 people, 3 years, Nature Aging Experiment 2. The DO Health Trial, led by researchers from Harvard, the University of Zurich, and the University of Toulouse. 777 adults over the age of 70. Randomized. Controlled. 3 years of follow-up. They tested 3 interventions separately and in combination: omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D3, and a simple exercise program. The question: do these measurably slow biological aging? The answer, published in Nature Aging in 2025. Yes. Omega-3 supplementation alone slowed biological aging across multiple epigenetic clocks. The estimated effect, up to 3.8 months of slower biological aging over 3 years. But here's the part that matters more than the number. When omega-3 was combined with vitamin D and exercise, the effects were additive. They stacked. The same trial found the combination reduced pre-frailty by 39% and invasive cancer incidence by 61%. 61%. DRNGI, 3 affordable, accessible interventions combined. Now, 3.8 months of slower aging over 3 years might not sound like much. But remember, this was with 1 intervention alone. Stack them, as the DO Health trial did, and the effects compound. Every year, for the rest of your life. The first 2 experiments show that biological age moves. But here's what I think is the most important question. Nobody is asking, what moves it faster? Because if you know what accelerates biological aging, you have just as much power as knowing what reverses it. Experiment 3. Quick pause. If you've watched Tuesday, Thursday, and now Saturday, you have a complete picture of what the science actually says. Subscribe so you don't lose this thread. Next week, new video every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. A longitudinal multi-cohort study, published in eBioMedicine in December 2025, tracked biological aging using DunedinPACE, one of the most sophisticated epigenetic clocks available. Unlike earlier clocks that estimate your biological age as a number, DunedinPACE measures something more actionable. The pace at which you are aging right now. Not how old your cells are, how fast they're getting older. And the study confirmed 4 factors consistently and measurably accelerate that pace. Smoking, elevated BMI, high blood glucose, and elevated blood pressure. Those four things push the accelerator. On the other side, physical activity and a healthier diet measurably slow the DunedinPACE, not speculation, measured in real people over time. And a separate geroscience review confirmed that even treating insomnia using cognitive behavioral therapy for sleep measurably slowed DunedinPACE. Sleep is not a passive activity. It is an active biological intervention every night. I want to stop here for a second because I've been delivering data for 9 minutes, and I think the data can start to feel abstract. So let me tell you why I actually care about this. I'm not researching longevity because it's a trending topic. I am researching it because I have people I want to be present for in 20 years, in 30. And the question that keeps me up at night isn't, how do I live to 100? It's, who am I going to be at 75? These three experiments don't answer that question completely, but they answer something more important. The pace at which I age, the pace at which you age, is not fixed. It is responding right now to this week, to what you ate, to whether you walked, to whether you slept. That's what 3 separate research teams found, and that matters. Now, here's what I find remarkable about these 3 experiments. They were designed independently, different teams, different countries, different methodologies, and they keep arriving at the same 4 levers. Let me show you. Lever 1, aerobic exercise. All 3 studies used it. Zone 2, 5 days a week, 30 minutes. We covered this Tuesday. Lever 2, diet quality, dark leafy greens, omega-3 rich foods, reducing processed food and excess sugar, not perfection, direction. Lever 3, sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Consistent timing, active glymphatic clearance while you sleep. We covered this last Thursday. Lever 4, stress regulation, breathing exercises, twice daily, 5 minutes each. Cortisol regulation is not optional in this system, it's structural. Notice something. None of these are new. None of them cost $300 a month. None of them require a biohacking protocol. The research keeps pointing back to the same boring, accessible, free things. That consistency across independent studies is actually the most convincing signal of all. Before you leave, one honest caveat. Biological age reversal is a real and growing field. But epigenetic clocks are imperfect tools. They measure methylation patterns, not destiny. A 3-year change in DNAmAge does not mean you'll live 3 more years. The clocks are getting better. The research is getting stronger. But we are still in early innings. What we can say, with confidence, the pace of your biological aging responds to lifestyle. What we can't say yet, exactly how much, for how long, and in whom. I'll tell you when that changes. Because it will. 3 experiments, 3 independent teams, the same 4 levers: exercise, diet, sleep, stress regulation. If you've been watching this week, Tuesday was the exercise, lever zone 2. Thursday was sleep in the brain. Today was the biological evidence that all 4 compound. Next Tuesday, we're going into the food, the longevity diet. Not what influencers say scientists eat, but what the scientists who study longevity actually eat themselves. The gap between those 2 things is larger than you think. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And tell me in the comments, which of the 4 levers are you already pulling, and which one is the hardest for you? Right now, I read every comment.